think it's working.
Good. It's not so cold this morning. It was all right.
I know, it feels a lot better.
We were doing this just the other day, right? People are going to be bored. Too much embossing all in the same
I
week.
know.
Was it yesterday? I don't remember. I did Great Wave. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Good morning.
Hello, gang. Also, I think if we move around too much, that white background behind you is going to get. Whatever.
Okay.
No, it's okay. No idea. Let's see how it goes.
It's like my face, my glasses are designed to be a particular distance away from.
Somebody's going to ask about the paper being out. If they do, I know it is out. I did the 3 stacks. Yours.
Did he remember the paper today? Yes.
Even yours. Yes. You don't have to type the answers. You can talk. They're hearing us.
Oh, that's right.
So you don't have to type replies. You can just answer replies.
Yes, the paper is out.
Should we type everything we say today? So the paper's out, including yours.
Oh, excellent. I hope I get to print today.
You don't really need to put it in like for a 1 or 2 or 3 day batch. So just so you know, we put ours in because there's a job that's going on for a week or sometimes 2 weeks, and lots of copies and really moist. When you're printing a full background like this, it's much more liable to get mold than just 1 or 2 colors.
I definitely put that firefly scene in the freezer between runs.
At home, you mean?
At home, yeah, and it's warm there. It's a lot warmer
Yeah.
there in Texas right now, at least than it is.
There's maybe people who don't know who you are, or Cameron has changed or something or whatever. Or this is Cameron's twin sister.
Yeah, I'm the new Cameron. No, there's no way I could be the new Cameron.
We've got, if you remind me, Cameron gets here, we've got one for him. I know, there's a comments, I've talked about reading the YouTube comments every morning. And this morning I'm reading the comments, and one of them said, I forget the exact words, something like, this man is such a wonderful, kind, warm-hearted person, blah, blah. And I'm saying, yeah, that's nice. Then I realized it's not a comment on my last video, it's a comment on the one that Cameron did half a year ago with Sugisa. So that's a comment for him. So I'll have to make sure I pass that one on to him. So. So embossing this morning for the first half an hour or so. It's a batch of prints that came back to us from Kubota Kenichi. He's a printer who worked for the Adachi studio all through 70s, 80s, 90s into the zeros. Maybe for 40 years he worked. He was one of the mainstay printers of Adachi, and we were really, really happy to be able to get use of him about 3 years ago. And since then, he's been off and on for us because he's retired, but then he phones me and says, Dave, can I get to work? And we'll do 3 or 4 runs from him. Then he'll say, I'm supposed to be retired, so, whatever. So, but he keeps coming back. So I don't know if it's because it's broke or he needs the money for the horses or something, or just he likes doing it, or I don't have any idea really. But we're really glad that he keeps phoning me. So
Kodengami's asking, is this a similar palette to the JJ7, I think he's asking? Sorry, 7. Yeah.
I haven't thought about this. It's created independently. This is just a bunch of deep greens, It does work in a little bit the same way. We've got light. They just cascade up. Lightest, darker, darker, darker. With the qualification, once it gets to the bamboo, it's A plus B, A plus C, B plus C, that kind of thing, to mix up the green shades on the bamboo. So it doesn't all just go level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5.
And then I'm curious about the olive on the turtles. Is that made by combining some of the yellows from the background with the green?
You're asking me to go back farther in history than I remember. I'm sorry.
That would be really clever if it...
They do overlap. I mean, there's a gray in here, which will be on top of one of the greens. I don't think that green goes under there, but there is a green here. That what do you call them? The hair headbands are clearly green and the brown together. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I really don't remember. We did keep the 2 planes in isolation. The back group is independent totally from the front group, so we could make sure we were able to keep the levels totally different. If that thing on his coat had underlaid one of these, we'd have had real trouble trying to get them independently. So I don't remember. I'm sorry. It was a real experiment for us. I have had a little bit of a hand in this one too, because the day Jed did it, he sent me the sketch. We were on a Skype call, and we spent a couple of hours on a Skype call chatting and working away on this one while he tried things and I made noise and he tried some more things. I mean, Jed designs these things, of course, but in this case, this one, there was a fair amount of feedback between for the both of us. Looks like it's lined up. Let's try. Am I visible? Or what I'm doing is I can't see the screen here, so
Yes.
okay. Speak up if stuff starts to wander out of view or something.
The embossing nexus is right in view.
Okay. There we are. And it's, as usual, it's Horiburu and then Suri Kubota Kenichi. And I've got about 90 to do, so it's going to take me a few minutes here.
Cameron was showing me that stack yesterday, and it's really interesting that the stack of these prints. And he let me feel them, and you can really tell the regions where the prints have had a lot of serious pressure on them, because the stack's actually thinner where the color's darkest, and then at the edges the paper's thicker, and it really adds up over 90 prints.
Well, yeah, I mean, the paper's thicker here, but are you detecting a difference inside the surface of the print?
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The center of the print, like here where it's lighter, is
Well,
thicker
that's white
again.
paper, because it is paper there.
Yeah.
It's the part that's unprinted. I get you there. Okay. So this area is unprinted, so the paper's thick. The margins are unprinted. They're thick, and everything around the middle has been printed. But I would have been surprised to feel that if there's 8 impressions, it's thinner than if there was 6 impressions or 4 impressions, or I don't know. Because one thing I made a mistake was when I was an early printer, is if it was a lighter color, I thought I had to press lightly. If it was a darker color, I had to press darker, because it was a deeper, thicker impression.
Yeah.
And there's no way it can be the lightest color in the print.
It still needs
lots
that
of paste, and it
same
still needs a pressure to make a good thick impression. So we don't lighten up because it's a lighter color. Well, you're right here. Here it is. It's thick, untouched paper. But everything else, I would like to check here. I think there, and the darker part should, I think, should be the same thickness. But you're right. The stack is funny because it's got this bump in the middle, and then yeah, you feel it now, even on these
Really
other
feel
copies
it.
here. Yeah.
Oh dear, John Becker's asking me questions.
Answer them. Name, rank, serial number?
I don't know. Woodblock printing combines a lot of things I'm interested in. So I've always liked making things with wood. My mom is a watercolor artist, so I've been around water-based pigments and been interested in how they combine, pretty much all my life. And so when I got the chance to learn how to use water-based pigments on woodblock printing, I was really excited. And that started about 5 years ago. I took a workshop with Annie Bissett.
Hey.
And I've just been kind of making at least a print a year every year. Hopefully I can speed that up a bit, because that's not very productive.
She's so good at this, man. Annie.
Yeah.
She's so good at this, and
Yeah.
so spreading it around and enthusiastic. And
Yeah, her workshop was really fun.
I never met her yet, not yet. Just know her only as an internet presence.
Camilo Madness, is that
He's back.
Camilo?
He's back. Yes, that's
Yeah.
our Mexican friend. He's back,
Yeah,
is he?
he's
He
on.
was on that chair just a few weeks ago.
Exactly. I saw
2
him.
weeks ago. Yeah.
He says, thanks for the warm welcome, David. Also, I survived the
warm
Soka
welcome. I
Gakkai.
locked the door and he couldn't get in that first Sunday. The real warm welcome. So. Before he went home, he stopped in again to say hello, say goodbye, and he said he had a great time over at Terry's place, Terry McKenna's place there. He had very good things to say about the experience he had with Terry over there at the, I forget what Terry calls his place. What's the name of it? I don't
know.
Is there a name for that? No? Terry McKenna's workshop over there in Kanazawa.
Anybody know?
I don't know, but if he doesn't have a good name for it, he should think of one, because it's, you try and refer to the thing and
So Fly Fish for Fun says that he noticed when the last time you pasted a hanshita down, you carved the Kento marks first,
Yes.
then pasted it in the transfer. That's
Yes.
different than the encyclopedia, where the
Yes.
Kento marks are integral to the
Yes.
drawing.
Yes.
New method, more accurate, faster?
Yes.
Question mark?
Yes to all those questions. Hang on a second. Well, you and I talked about this yesterday, right? When we were talking about transferring. So I'll just get a sample here. The old traditional way of doing this thing, is this visible, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay. The old traditional way is,
It's black though, so it's hard to see.
yeah, whatever. You put your key lines down on the block, and that also had the idea where you would want to carve the registration marks. So you cut your key, cut the registration marks, and there you have the first thing that's going to be transferred. You then have a bunch of blank blocks with nothing carved on them. The traditional way is to take your black brush and you rub the black ink all over the top, including over the top of the registration marks. And then you print this a number of times, and you now have a paper that has the key lines and the location of the registration mark shown on it. You do your color separations, trace here, color with red, color with yellow, whatever you want to do. And the paper then goes face down onto a blank piece of wood, and you can see the lines and you can see where the registration marks need to be cut. You cut them, and away you go. I think that's what I described on my website there, the encyclopedia place he's talking about. In recent years, we've started doing it a little different way, which we find more accurate. The first stage is the same. Paste it down, cut the lines, cut the registration marks on the key block. But what we then do, because we are really, really good at this part of the job, we are really good at getting paper perfectly in the corner. So what we do is, after the key block is ready, on blank color blocks, we cut registration marks. Nothing else, just cut registration marks. And then to make the transfers, we put paper, the transfer paper, into the registration marks on the key block, print it, then do our color separation-y thing, and then on the prepared color block, we put the transfer sheet into the registration marks and put it down. So it's the same overall basic concept, but I find it much, 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 much more accurate. Because for us, it's more accurate putting the paper into the registration marks than it is to cut registration marks based on a line that you see on a piece of paper. Is that a clear explanation, or did I get wandery during the middle of it?
No, that was great. So Camila said the school is now Kanazawa Mokuhanga School instead of...
Kanazawa, Karuizawa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got to get closer to actually.
Right.
Karuizawa.
I hope so, because that's where it is.
Yeah, instead of Australian Mokuhanga.
I hope so, doesn't it?
It used to be that, I guess.
Okay.
But he changed
So run that by me again. It's Karuizawa.
Mokuhanga School.
Okay, a lot of big words for people that don't know how Japanese, but yes, okay, good. At least it's got a name then, okay. So we know what to refer to it as. And is the domain name Japanese yet, or is it still .au Australia? I don't know, so. Yeah, I should at some point update that old webpage.
Konigami says, tag this stream for a highlight, Kento. Apparently it was a really good explanation.
Okay, but I gesture with my hands. We need the actual thing, you know, if we're going to do a highlight and preserve it for people to check. We need the actual piece of paper, you know, sorry.
Yeah.
Or ask me, next time I'm doing this, ask me again, next time I'm doing the transfer, and then we can... Yeah, that was another thing I'd been asking the stream to help with. I don't know if you were there the day I was talking about it. The idea was that every month or so on YouTube we would do a Twitch highlight reel. We've done one so far in the year and a half I've been doing this. But it's difficult for me to go back to the Twitch stream because it takes an hour and a half to watch the damn thing. So I did ask one day at some point, you guys, if there's something that goes on that you think should be part of next month's highlight reel, send me an email or do this. So I think that's what Konigami's saying right now, his point. So it's easier to find these little things to make a highlight reel of them. And if I had just a list of times and dates, putting a highlight reel together every month would just be a few minutes work instead of hours and hours and hours and hours of work.
Yeah.
So I think that's the impetus behind what Konigami just said just now. But honestly speaking, I still haven't done anything about it. I don't have a list building up. for the next highlight reel.
I know that on Twitch, you can only, as a viewer, we can only see the last 15 or so.
It's about 2
videos.
weeks, yes, that's right. So,
Do you get to keep an
no,
archive copy?
I've archived everything.
Okay,
I've missed a
cool.
couple because I forget. During those 2 weeks, I can download it, but that downloads just the video. It doesn't download the chat. I keep those separately, so there's a separate file of text chats, and I've got all the videos filed. But I know Ellen's on. Sure, I know the lady who calls herself HB Thingy here. She has been downloading them herself and uploading them to that extra YouTube channel. You know, there's I forget what she calls it. There's another YouTube channel, not my YouTube channel, that has all these Twitch streams archived on it. Do you not know what that are?
I haven't. Nope. What's it called?
I don't know. I know. Ask these guys. I know. But
Twitch Archive. That makes sense.
But I'm not sure how useful that is. It's just a massive. It's just a stream of all these things together. So it's not like everything I say every day has to be preserved for posterity. You know, I don't know.
Oh, Acolytes of the Baron.
That's the Facebook page, and then I think there's a YouTube channel. It might be the same name then. But Ellen has been uploading them for over a year, I think now.
Oh, I see. Twitch Archive is the Twitch command. I'm sorry, guys out there. I can't see the screen very well because
You got the wrong glasses on.
I have the wrong glasses. I didn't bring the right glasses. According to me, I don't know if that would work or not.
Borrow my glasses?
Yes.
Great minds. I've got to get some new ones now because mine are wandering again. Or it's not the glasses that are wandering, something else is wandering. But I have two now. I have the close-up glasses like this. This is for about that far away. Mm-hmm. And then the glasses for the screen. I can't read the screen with these glasses. But the prescription is changing. Something's changing. I forgot. Did the shoe lady go by this morning? I didn't even notice. I didn't think about it.
I didn't. I think I would have
Too
heard
busy
if she
working.
did.
So too busy working here. So.
Maybe it's her day off on.
It's a beautiful day out there,
On
you know.
Fridays.
Nice spring morning. Beautiful, beautiful. Were you up for a walk this morning?
Yeah, a little bit.
I wish I sacrificed my morning walks, you know, for this.
We have somebody from France. There was somebody from Brazil earlier.
Today's stream, you mean?
Yeah.
It's tougher now for the Europeans, of course, because of the summertime. They have to stay up 1 hour later at night now.
The door's actually open, guys.
It's quiet, but it's quiet out there,
It is
isn't
quiet.
it? So. I would have guessed the same thing. Why is it so quiet? You've got the door closed. No, it's open.
And the paper's out. Somebody else asked.
Yep, we're on top of it today.
Frozen Runner wants you to strap a camera to your head and go for a Twitch walk.
Well, John Becker was
How would
doing
that
it for me.
work?
You
I
can
guess
stream
you'd have to have
live.
a pretty good Wi-Fi connection.
No, a smartphone. Well, yeah, of course, with a cell.
Or yeah, pretty good
smartphone.
cell connection.
No, John Becker was doing that. He didn't stream to do with us, but John Becker, when he was here last time, he's got his Facebook page, and he did some live Facebook streams to his friends. It was nothing to do with the Moko Hong Kong here. But he streamed walks around Japan. Now and then he'd find something interesting and stream it to his Facebook page. So it's technically very possible, no problem at all. Not for me, because I don't have a phone, but...
So, Mudabori Ningen is asking if I'm one of your, if I'm a friend of yours, I guess I am now.
Oh, no. No friend of mine. No.
I'm a printmaker, I guess, from the USA.
What do you mean a printmaker? I guess. What's that supposed to mean?
I made a couple of prints.
Real dose of self-confidence, right? What's going on here?
And I'm in Tokyo for a couple of weeks. I'm helping out Mokohankan, however they need, in the office and stuff, and learning a little bit more about printmaking.
And you've been here a week and you still haven't wielded a baron yet once. I'm sorry.
Oh, no Koringami, I'm sorry, I don't have a website. I don't really have much of a web presence at this point, but maybe I will, and when I do, I will let you know.
Well, you've been making these prints, the ones you showed us are very pleasant and attractive, but you have some sense that you want to get them out into the world and be a printmaker or something, or like do what Annie's doing, for example, or something. And
Yeah, I mean, I have too much of a real job to, make much progress at that, but there are always second careers.
gotta get going, no?
Yeah. I think today I'm going to try to go up on the roof and take some pictures of the crowded street during the day. Here on Twitch in the morning, you see people walk by. They look like they're going someplace. They're going to their job or whatever. But during the day, the street is really crowded, and there's a ton of people walking around in kimonos.
Have you been here on a weekend? When did you come? Were you here last weekend?
No, I got here on Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow will be crazy. Tomorrow will be the day for the crowded street pictures. I don't know. It was pretty crowded yesterday.
The real crowds are the festival time, of course. They're nuts.
Yeah.
But weekends are here pretty much because Osaka is a destination for Japanese people. They get up Saturday morning or something. What should we do today? Let's wander over to Osaka and stuff because there's bars and different stuff to do. So it's much more crowded on the weekends. The tourist thing doesn't make much difference because tourists don't even really know what day it is. They're just here for their 2 weeks or whatever it is. But the street scene comes alive here on the weekends. Don't even think about going out to get lunch tomorrow on Sunday because you can't. There are lineups the coffee shop next.
Bought my sandwich at the 7-Eleven in the morning.
That's okay, that's fine. But even for that, if you go out at lunchtime, you'll still have to line up big time at the 7-Eleven. Did you see a new 7-Eleven open 1 block away from the one at the end of the street here? You turn left here, you go to Kokusai Dori, the main street.
Yeah. I did.
There's a 7-Eleven on the left-hand side.
Very close to the temple grounds, right?
No, it's the other way. Temple's over there. No, there's a 7-Eleven right next to the temple grounds, yes, the one with the black and white sign. Mm-hmm. But the one here, when you turn left, go to the main street, the first left is 7-Eleven with 3 ATMs. There's now one in the second block to the right on the same. So within 1 minute here, it's a peaceful walk, 1, 2, 3 7-Elevens, Lawson in the back door, Lawson in the side door, 2 Lawsons, 1 mini stop. That's within 1 minute. And one Family Mart behind us in the Orange Street. Well, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 convenience stores, literally within 1 minute of this place. There's 3 internet cafes, literally within 1 minute's stroll of this place. Did you notice the 7-Eleven?
Hi, who's saying hi?
You know the 7-Eleven over by the temple, is that the one you've been going to? Did you notice?
No, actually, there's a Family Mart right next to my hotel, so that's where
good.
I've been going mostly.
The 7-Eleven near the temple has a special. They're not allowed to use the red and green sign. It has to be a black and white sign. Because they're within view of the temple. When you stand on the Sensoji steps, They don't want any of these convenience store.
Right. I was wondering why the color was different.
It looks like a funeral home, black and white.
Yeah,
It looks like
actually, some kid was walking by, like an 8-year-old kid. Mom, why is the logo in black and white?
because the temple, but it's hugely just so pretentious. The temple these days is standing by itself with a plaza around it. But before the war, it was surrounded by bars. They were all butted against it. There's shacks leaning up against it. Around the back side of the temple, it wasn't just bars, it was girls and you name it. The temple was a place, just in this middle of this fabulous big entertainment district. And for them to now to say that 7-Eleven, nope, you can see from your steps, so none of that red and green for us, Got to be black and white, serious stuff. It's just such a pretentious.
People are raving about the Japanese convenience store food, and yes, I agree. I got a $2.50 bowl of noodles with some raw fish and some salmon roe yesterday, and
It's
it was
fresh stuff.
Oh, it was
Fresh,
so delicious, and if I could have found the same thing back home, it would have been 3 times as expensive.
When people hear that I live out of the convenience store, they're like, "What, Dave? Take care of yourself. Be careful." And that's not what it's like. Have you had the experience
They're thinking
yet?
frozen burritos like we have back in the States.
Have you had the experience yet of picking something off the shelf with someone and going to the register and the guy won't sell it to you? He tries to barcode it.
Oh,
it
and
doesn't
it's
beep
expired?
because it's salad more than 3 hours old.
No,
He won't. I say, "It's okay. I'm going to eat." He says, "I'm okay." He says, "I can't. It doesn't barcode." I got a bit upset about that some years ago when I was still in the stage of getting frustrated about stuff that happens as you found that you don't like, So I'd get frustrated and, "Come on, why are you guys doing this? You're wasting so much stuff throwing it away." He says, No, it's not being thrown away. It goes to the pig farms. So it is eaten. It turns into animal food. So animal food, I guess pigs don't care about expiry dates.
No.
So it isn't actually wasted. And he also said that the franchisees have to eat it. I don't mean physically. I mean the loss is taken by the franchisee, the people who run the franchises. So 7-Eleven makes the rules. You can't sell it over 3 hours old. So who took the loss because they bought it and didn't sell it? The franchise guy takes the loss.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get a 7-Eleven franchise, it's plus minus. I mean, you've got the hottest brand name in the world. People will come into your shop because they know what's in there. But it sounds like they're so strict. It's the mothership from hell. Did you hear about that lawsuit a month or so ago? There's a 7-Eleven franchisee in Osaka, in a little bit of a semi-rural area, partway just outside the city. And the 7-Eleven rule is all shops must be open 24 hours a day. That's built into your contract when you sign a franchise. It used to be 7 to 11 years ago, but then it went to 24 hours decades ago. Anyway, this guy's in the middle of a country area. There's no customers around, nothing at all. He can't get staff to run the 3 o'clock in the morning shift. So he started closing at 11. 7-Eleven sued him. And it's become a big deal because the whole of society jumped on the side of this franchisee. Because there's moving towards, no abuse of employees and stuff like this, and that, and get these guys to try and run their own business to stay alive. And 7-Eleven now themselves is exploring the idea of moving to a split system where some of the shops in busy urban areas are open 24 hours and other shops are not.
I mean, if you're in a place where there aren't any customers, it hardly makes any sense.
Although you can understand it from the national branding perspective, we are all open 24 hours a day. You're driving your car down a back road and there it is.
Now
they also pulled the argument out that it was a public safety issue, that if there's an earthquake or something going on, that place will be there to get food and water and blah, blah, blah. So there's lots of things involved. Anyway, it's changing, it's morphing. And I think they had a schedule now. 7-Eleven has proposed a 3-tier schedule. There'll be 24-hour shops, 7 to 11 shops, and then something like 6 to 12 shops. I can't remember the exact numbers. So the common sense is perhaps coming to it. Now, the other thing that's changing, Lawson has, and I saw it in yesterday's newspaper, they are now moving, finally, after years of experimentation, they're opening the first unattended shops. this September, Lawson is moving to unattended
Oh,
system.
really?
Yes.
Interesting.
As an experiment, we know that's where the whole convenience store industry has to go. Obviously, you don't need clerks standing behind that counter counting out your nickels, obviously. And the way it's going to work is you need their app. You have to register with them first. An entrance to the facility will be with your phone. Your phone taps on the door
Yeah.
to slide in. So you're in there and it now knows who you are. You put your stuff in the basket. It's all RFID tags, the normal tags.
Right. And so as when you go out the door, it's like,
It'll be that or scan. I don't know which way they're doing, or as a scanner. You have to do it like a supermarket, the self-checkout where you put them one by one, or just recognizes your basket. I don't know the practical part. That's coming in September now. They're doing a couple of hundred Lawsons as the first step to this. And I have big feelings, it's some young, uneducated people are now out of work, less chance for kids to get work experience as a teenager or a young adult.
yeah,
But then it
less
also-
chance for, college students to,
Yeah, but it also doesn't make sense to have human beings standing there while we all dig in our pocket for our change and check out these things. It's silly. Just walk in, grab the stuff, and walk.
I think the hotel that I'm staying in is
It's
set up.
very highly automated to show.
Yeah, I mean, there were people there, and there seemed to be people there, but there's this, check-in machine that I could have probably navigated completely on my own. Scan your passport, type in your reservation number, answer a few questions, and
Well,
pops the key card.
the Super Hotel down the street here. It's called Super Hotel. You will never see a human being. You make a reservation online. You get your thing on your app, and the front door. The door opens with your phone. The elevator opens with your phone. Your room door, and you don't see human beings. There is no front desk.
Interesting.
There's presumably people in the back as emergency workers when something happens, but there are no visible human beings. And that's part of the attraction. That's one of their sales points.
So you can come anytime as long as it's
Yep,
within your window.
Within your reservation, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously you leave at whatever time it is, and it's not robots. Human beings do come out and change your room and stuff like that. There are what's the word? Maintenance staff to do the cleaning and stuff. It's not a robot facility in the background. But there's no front desk, and you don't see people. You don't check in. And that's been there for a couple of years. It's a chain across the country. Super Hotel.
Amazon opened the first unattended store here in Seattle in January 2018. I heard about that thing.
I was also curious about that because it seemed like the way they were doing it, it was cameras that were on the shelves. And when you reached to pick up something, the camera recognized what it was and you put it in your basket. And you took it out of your basket and the camera recognized it was. So I read, I thought, what? Why would they do that? Why not just tag everything?
Fly fish for fun. Have you shopped there? Nope.
Last time we chatted about some stream, it came up a while ago, and someone said, "What's the future for Mocha Hong Kong?"
Good morning, Cameron.
We have a tag
All
on every
right.
print.
Oh,
and
do you want to run the stream?
My replacement's
I'll go.
here.
She's been here since we started. Pull up a chair behind her for a minute, Cameron. Just get out of the stool, or I don't know where the visible. As you wish.
Here, you can have the. You can have the.
You know,
Bye, guys.
we're leaving.
Well, not permanently, but.
Well, just get another stool and sort out the focus. I'm not doing horribly interesting work today, so.
I'll just stand right here.
That works. That works so well. Yeah, you should sit in front of the computer because I have a hard time actually seeing it.
Okay.
I have to move my head back and forth, and so it exposes the white.
Karen, is there room there? Is it put you on? You're out of the view now, but if you, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, you are.
Well, I don't want,
If you go
my
up a
head
little
would be
bit.
pretty gigantic.
No, I moved a little bit, so if you can even.
There we go. That works.
Yeah.
Cameron, before I forget,
Yes.
my usual he's sitting in the dawn reading the YouTube comments,
Yes.
and one I thought, oh, this is so great. Oh, this is so great. And one came in. Well, I'll talk to you about it later. I forget the exact words. Something like, yeah, I just spent time with a really kind, pleasant person. Very nice. Thank you. And I'm thinking, Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And I look across, wait a minute, it's time to burn bright.
All right. Someone had something nice to say about that video.
But you didn't say you look like Bob Ross.
Ah, man. That was my real
Can't win them all.
goal.
Can't win them all.
You need to work on your hair a little
Yeah.
bit.
Should get a pen and just make it explode in my head.
What's the train situation? It seems really super quiet out there this morning. Is it a holiday? It's not a holiday.
No,
it's a
it
normal
was
day to show.
packed.
But it's so quiet outside.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm still a little earlier than usual. I thought I'm gonna get in a little bit early, help out, and then the train gets delayed and it's super packed and unpleasant the whole way. And now remember, this is why I've been taking later trains lately.
I mean, not only both Karen and I noticed it, but some people on stream, somebody said, like, what's going on? Is the door closed? I thought the door was closed because it was so quiet.
Yeah. Huh.
The crows are all a few blocks away, hitting the garbage bags.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they.
Oh, it's Friday. Yeah,
I saw them.
It's Friday. So, okay. Has the garbage truck come? I didn't hear it.
No, I just saw it parked down the road with still piles of garbage on the street.
No,
I'm wondering, what are you doing?
that's the empty truck waiting.
Got it.
The trucks get full just about the time they get here.
Okay.
The drivers hop out and do the change, take the full truck to the dump.
Got it. Okay.
So he's
So
waiting
it's
for his
not
friends
here
to come.
yet.
No.
I wore my crow shirt today.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Oh, no, I'm about halfway through. This is a big job. There's about 100 sheets here.
Yeah, it was a big batch.
Yeah. I've got a small show and tell.
Ooh, fun. Well, you have plenty of time. It's only 8:35, so.
Okay.
Greetings from Romania. I watched your 3-hour stream, so thanks for joining us. That's a long stream. I can't remember. I know in January, or was it the end of December, we did another beginning to end blocks. Has it made its way to YouTube?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It just wasn't interesting enough.
Okay.
I didn't want to. It wasn't interesting enough.
Okay.
Second system effect.
Yeah.
Now, things happen organically, they're okay, but when you try and replicate them, it's very, very difficult to replicate things. So I just let it go.
Got it. John Becker, he a couple times was in the stream. I don't know if you saw him or if you weren't watching by that time. At that time yet. But he said, when I was sitting on the stream, I abandoned the computer when Cameron arrived and started going through all the bins. he just left.
Last night was very, very quiet. It's really strange. 2 days ago,
Yeah.
the nighttime shift was bigger than the daytime shift.
Yeah.
Last night, nothing.
Huh.
The last thing on the cash was like 4:30. That's
Oh,
it.
wow. Did you get a lot done sitting around in the
Yes
office?
and no. I know I didn't get a lot done. I
Yeah.
just sort of had a peaceful time, and
Well, that's important too, to
I
have some
know, but
peaceful
I'm
time.
sort of leaning on that a bit too much recently. So. It's hard to get back into it.
Yeah.
Basically, I wasted my time. I read some news and wasted my time.
You get such
Part of
busy
it is,
times
you know
all
what's
day.
that-
It's good to have a little
But there's
bit of
that thing
quiet.
that happens, it's quiet, okay, gosh, should I start doing something? And you know what happens as soon as you
As soon
do
as you
start,
start a
then it does.
project.
So you're in the sense that you can't really get involved and start something.
Yep.
And as it happened, I should have done so because nobody came in.
Right, but you didn't know that no one was
Know
going to
that,
come
so,
in.
that's my excuse anyway, and I'm
Yeah.
sticking to it. I don't know. But I waste a lot of time recently, and when people see me wasting it, like Karen I think came in last night, I was reading the newspaper or something, and I said so, and she said, oh, it's okay, good, get your time to relax.
Yeah.
In other words, I built up so much I've got a bank deposit, a deposit account of hard work. So anytime I fool around, it's okay. Dave's allowed to fool around because he's got this deposit. You get what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It's kind of
an imbalance. You're trying to bring it back.
So I get a free pass to fool around as much as I want because I've got 67 years of
hard work.
That seems only fair.
Yeah.
I guess so, but it just means I goof off more than I should goof off because I'm allowed to goof off. You guys don't see it, but I goof off more than I should. Get back after dinner and just don't do anything, because I can't that last hour before bed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nobody else sees that part of my time. All they see is my working time. So it's great. I've got this huge,
Perception.
everybody's got Dave's such a hard worker. Wow, because they don't see me goof off. There's no wife or somebody
Listening
here
to
who sees the real
XTC
side. Not anymore, unfortunately, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows my true side, the goof off side.
The goof off.
The lazy side.
Yeah.
Dave, lazy, inconceivable. Actually, it's true. I'm such a lazy guy.
I don't know about that. Good question, Tommy the Troll. I was wondering when the prints would be available in the shop. Young girl taking a bath. Sorry.
Is that the one?
That
from
he watched the 3-hour stream. So.
Yeah, from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Actually, what is the status on them? Why haven't we assigned it? I mean, Ei-chan did try
A couple
it
people
back.
have tried it and just
Kawaii-san
struggled
did
with
try it
the.
back. Suga-san tried it back.
Yeah.
Official.
Yeah, I think.
And it's
quite a
so simple. Part of it is that. Part of it is that it's so simple, any tiny defect shows up pretty strongly. And part of it is that because the first ones I did were so clean and beautiful and perfect, that's sort of become the standard. So I don't know what to do on how.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it. The copies they made were sort of okay, but just not really okay.
Remember you saying they had difficulty with a little spot on the wood?
Yeah, the
Is
wood
that
was
what it
new.
is?
The wood was new, and there's a spot in the board.
Yeah.
In one place where it's
Particularly
hard
hard,
grain,
yeah.
and it shows as a white stripe. I'm like, whatever, just let it go. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be all that much of a tragedy, but I don't know. If you remind me about it later this afternoon or something, because we've got those copies that those people made, we can have a look at them. And is Dave overthinking this? And it should just be actually ready to go into the
Yeah.
shop.
Okay.
And the second barrier is because it's going as a Hunger Club, it needs a little story, and then a little story in Japanese.
Yeah.
That's another one. It's all your fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault. Yes. Naruhodo. No, wait, you've actually written a story. It's.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Yeah, it is all my fault. Yep, your part's done. Except for the printing.
There's the garbage.
Here we go.
There. Just jogging along, throwing trash bags in.
Run
That's
faster.
the way to get all your steps.
Yep. Those guys wear Fitbits.
I wonder if Fitbits really encourage you to do things or only tell you, yep, you didn't walk that much.
You lazy slob.
You lazy sloth. Does it just make you feel guilty for what you're already doing, or does it actually encourage you to do better? I wonder.
I don't know.
How do you start?
My phone tries to keep tabs on me.
Yeah.
And yesterday I did really well.
Yeah.
12,000 steps.
Nice.
While you were sitting upstairs carving? Is
No,
this
no,
counting
no,
when
it's
you
like
go bang, bang, bang?
I woke up early in the morning and I tried to walk to Ueno Park.
Oh, wow.
And I made it as far as Ueno Station and took the metro back because I felt like I was running out of time. I don't know. why.
Running out of time.
It's
You're here
silly.
on a holiday
I'm
in
on a
Japan.
holiday.
What? You get to Ueno Park. I'm running out of time.
But then I did the field trip to Woodlight Matsumoto.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's sitting on a train. I mean,
Yeah, but there was a little bit of walking in between. I don't know. How did I end up with almost 5 miles of walking?
it's the hammer work when you're carving. So.
But it didn't work out. He said it.
Oh, really?
It couldn't.
It has no frame rate. It has a frame rate of 2 point something FPS. False advertising. So.
It's more of a slideshow than a video.
So we got to wrap that up and get it back. I need a letter. That's the problem. A Japanese letter.
Where's our staff today?
Or should I just do it in English?
Yeah. You sent me this piece of garbage. I think you sent the wrong item.
Casually mentioned that we wouldn't want to be mentioning this to our 70,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The next YouTube video is, we thought our video was going to be a really nice close-up through a microscope, but this product didn't work.
2 FPS. How could they put that on the market?
Yeah. Sit on the bumpy train long enough and Fitbit thinks you're walking 45,000 steps.
Oh, now I'm disappointed. I thought I was good. That'd be. I should check next time I'm on a train to see if
Has it gone up?
Has it gone up with me just sitting here in one place?
You see me doing this for the last hour or so now. I've been rubbing the name on each sheet. To make the actual print, this is like 20 impressions to show.
Yeah.
So to print this thing, get the block, rub the light yellow pigment all over, rub it more, rub it more, rub it more, rub it more, put the print down, rub, rub some more, rub some more, rub some more, put aside, do that 100 times, switch the block to the next color, do your testing, and this guy just sends it back to me in a week, you know. This guy is a machine, an absolute machine. An absolute machine. He just sits there, head down, not head down, he's got the TV running while he's doing it. Off to the right of his printing bench, he's got a TV running.
Wow.
All the afternoon soap operas and news programs and stuff, variety shows.
Yeah.
His TV is on every single minute. He wakes up, puts his TV on.
Wow.
Because you got to look what you got. He doesn't ever look to pick up his brush or his barrel. His hands know exactly where these are. Of course, you know, pigment. You know where they are. You know how much is going. So he couldn't do it blindfolded. You got to, you know, out of the corner of your eye, you're seeing where these things are, picking up your paper. But once the paper's down and you're starting rubbing, he knows because it's 100 sheets. So the first 2 sheets, you're where am I? Where am I? Where am I? But then your muscle memory kicks in. So he's just watching TV all day long while he's doing this.
Wow.
They all turn out perfect.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is a craftsman. This is what we don't have in our shop here. You know, the women are doing very nicely. Suga-san, she's a wonderful girl. She's trying really hard. She's doing a good job. Wonderful. But she is not this printing machine that these old guys became. We talked about that before. The abuse is the abuse necessary to really hit these people hard when they're young, to pile on and pile on and pile on. And we don't want to do that because of the humanity of it, but my God, it built machines.
Yeah.
Do they have reading glasses in the dollar store in Japan? Do you know this, Dave?
I don't know. I'm sorry, but normal glasses are now so cheap, it's almost irrelevant. You know, a normal pair of glasses now is like 2,000-3,000 yen. Unless you want the fancy designer frames and stuff and special super coatings and whatever. So I guess this is like maybe 3,000 yen at the gin store.
Do you have to go to a doctor to
No.
get
You just walk in. It's part of the. You sit down and they do the thing. And, I mean, if you've got a medical problem, it's a different story. But if you're just looking for a pair of glasses, you sit down. It's in the price. There's 2 machines, right? One does the little chart comes is the E upwards or downwards or sideways and the different sizes of it.
Yeah.
Totally no problem.
Yeah, I have,
it's
I have
you
glasses
wait.
for here, and then I have the glasses for here, and then I
Do
wear
it.
both of them and I get there.
Do it. The prices are all open. You go in the shop first. You you browse the frames, and they have the price. And the price is 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Pick up the 3,000 yen frame. That's what you will pay. You take it to the counter. They say, "Good. Sit here." They do the click, click, click. Sit there. They do the click, click, click. Just come back in an hour. You come back in an hour. It's done. There's one in the nearest one's in the Matsuya build. Is there one in rocks now? It's the jeans in.
I don't know.
There might be jeans in rocks. If there isn't, there's one in the Matsuya building, you know, the triangular building at the Ginza subway station. It's up on the 4th floor, I think so.
I got glasses last week, $127. Someone says, with anti-glare coating.
I mean, these are essentially disposable.
Yeah. Last pair of progressive lens glasses were over $450. Ken Howard says.
Yeah.
Possible here to pay a lot more, of course, if
Yeah.
you want
Fancy
you know,
bifocals.
whatever, or fashion. You know, since fashion, this is no brand name.
Yeah. John Becker says, "Oh, I've got to get new glasses next time I'm in Japan. I didn't know about these places."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have some that I got from an actual optometry shop that were expensive, but these came from Target, I think, and they were like $6.
$6, nice.
Yeah.
I don't think we can touch that. Although
they're like-
maybe in the 100 yen shop.
They're
Are
okay.
they? I
They're
don't
okay.
know.
But they're like they're
But there's-
reading glasses, so they
So
come
there's
in.
a shelf of them. You try them and try them and try
well,
them
they
and
come
try
in
them.
different strengths.
But left
Basically
and
different
right, how do you match like left and right and stuff?
Oh,
Is
they're
that-
exactly the same on left and right.
'cause most of us aren't like that.
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
The post office has them here. There's 3 or 4 on the post office counter. Little old ladies who are trying to fill out the form. or
Oh,
whatever.
that's right.
Not just
Marked
little
as
ladies.
like
Yeah, whatever the
weak,
number-
medium,
yeah,
strong.
whatever, yeah, exactly. So it gets you close enough that you can put the right number of zeros on your. What is our plan for today, sir? You're pretty much caught up in stuff, right? Oh,
Except for
it's
paying today.
Payday.
Yep.
So.
Yesterday I calculated most people's what they're going to be paid, and today would be.
And then do we need to worry about the shop input from here? Always not shipping today or anything, are they?
Yeah. Yes. Sui-san is in today, so she
We
may.
better check this.
So, I'll check. I think I'm up through Wednesday.
There's a bunch that we did sell a lot of
Okay.
copies of the same one, so
Okay, I will
I'm not sure.
update that today too.
that should go first. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. A lot of flea market though, which doesn't affect that,
Right.
and a door handle, a lot of door handle, which doesn't affect that. Either.
Did Kara finish packing those infestation?
I'm not sure.
We can look in the box and see
Yeah.
if they're still there.
Yeah.
But packing for the shop or packing, the ones for Jed are here.
Yeah. Packing for the shop.
I think the ones have Fox. We were out of Fox, weren't we? In the shop, there's like
Yep.
one left over there. So.
Yeah.
Do we have those or?
If I remember, I think we had some that are already signed by Jed but not
Okay,
paid for,
so
so
we-
we're transferring them, and then
There's
we're
some
out.
going to Jed.
Oh yeah, I mean no, you're right. Yeah, some are going to Jed in that group.
Only 10.
Maybe I'm misremembering. I'll check what our numbers were, but it may have been all the pre-signed ones were gone, and we only have 10 made. But
No, didn't we just have that one? We just did a run of it, didn't we? Or I guess it could be out.
yeah, because Jed also bought quite a few a while ago.
10 seems light.
Let me see.
I mean, infestation 10.
Yeah, I know what you mean, John Becker. I couldn't find those either. So I'll just get the full ones. He's talking about looking for half frame reading glasses where just the bottom part is lens. You can see over the top easy. I just do the.
Just put it low.
Yeah, me too.
Says we have 21 Fox Moon in
Yeah,
the shop,
okay, right.
and then we're getting 10 more signed,
Okay, fair enough.
and then that's all of them. We don't have any else.
And last time I looked, we only had like 1 there and 2 there, so I guess they must have
Yeah,
you've not come
they're
to-
getting packed. I think, so. That's not too bad. Only 30 unread messages. Not too bad today. Only 30 unread messages.
So I thought it was light.
Yeah.
When I went to bed last night, I looked in it, but there was like 4 unread messages before
Yeah.
I went to bed. It's crazy. What's going on? Whenever I see that, I head over to the quick news page to find like what meteorite hit Europe or something. Or something what happened that people stopped browsing our website.
Yeah.
We've got about 20 left. Sorry about this, guys. Not an interesting stream today, but it's work that had to be done right now. So
Do you use a different baron for embossing?
no, I just from the party room.
Oh, okay.
I'll use the Murasakis because this stuff is fairly hard. I don't want the wear and tear on a normal barrel because Murasakis, I don't care. They themselves are so hard that it doesn't matter.
They gave me a free plastic baron with like Matsumura yesterday.
Yes. They just handed you one.
Well, I bought, I got 3 chisels and a brush, not a big brush, and a Kawasaki butter. I might have the name of it wrong. It's the kind that has, it's a
Murasaki?
it's not a Murasaki. It wasn't very expensive, but it's better than the cardboard one I have at home. But it has a acrylic fiber coil inside. I can't remember. It was like whole something. Anyway, so I bought some stuff and told them I was from Texas. And
Any trouble communicating?
No,
Who'd you deal with? The owner, the older guy? Or
I dealt with the older guy, and then he sent a guy over who speaks some English.
Cool.
But I mean, I sort of, I think I'm about as good at Japanese as he was at English. So
So you met in the
no
middle.
real trouble.
Yeah.
No real trouble. Yeah, it's sort of a mix.
Cool.
Yeah, so he gave me, he let me put the red dot on the map showing where I was from.
Yes.
And I got to, he gave me 2 small pieces of Sheena and a plastic bag.
They're nice people. He's a nice guy. He's trying to do things properly. He's an honest guy. They're good people.
Here they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Nichinan
Oh, good. Your Chon-san's been waiting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my son told me to let him and Chon-san know
good.
immediately.
Thank you.
if it arrives.
Thank you. Perfect. This is the first batch now of blocks planed from that batch we got from Yahoo Auction last week. This is how fast we've run this through because we're desperate for some of these blocks. So those really hard blocks that we unearthed. This is the first batch of production blocks now back from them. You saw them up the stairs the other day, the long thin ones for the double Hagaki, some for Ukiyo Heroes and some for this year.
Yeah.
So Ukiyo Heroes number 18, yet to be announced, yet to be designed, yet to be thought about,
Yeah.
is going to be carved on one of those blocks right there.
So are these the ones that Aoyama-san sent off just a couple of days
Yes.
ago?
So it's really run through. This is
That's
Japan.
quick.
This is Japan. So I found the blocks on Tuesday, last week ago. I opened the package to see the blocks.
Thought, ooh, these will be great.
These will be great. Brought them back. Gave it to Aoyama-san next morning. Away we went.
Quick process.
I guess the planer is not far away, right? It's someplace in Tokyo.
Well, it's in
like
Japan. It wouldn't make any difference. You ship a package in the evening. It gets to anywhere in Japan except the far outlying islands the next morning. So it doesn't matter where they are. As it happens, they're in Tokyo. Shinkiba.
Yeah,
They're in
Shinkiba. That's not
But it
far.
doesn't matter. They could be in Hokkaido. The trucks run all night all across the country. Planes and trucks, of course. It's an astonishing system.
Yeah.
Well, FedEx has a similar system over in America, those Atlanta hubs and the stuff you see. The planes all have these trackers, and you can actually watch in
Your
live.
package move.
Well, not your package, but there's video presentations of the FedEx fleet that every night does this thing with hundreds of planes.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Right before I left town, I had to order some carbon monoxide detectors because I had to do some work on my house, and they're going to do an inspection, and it has to meet code. And there's a new code that I have to meet. So I was like, okay, I don't need these things right away because I'm about to travel. So I ordered them on Amazon, and I picked the super slow 6-day shipping.
Yeah.
And they gave me like $10 Prime Now credit. And then the things arrived the next morning at my office.
Sweet. You get $10.
So they get to sit at the house until I get back.
Yeah.
It's okay, so it's easier for them just to throw it into the system, and maybe it was a space available. A package like that would have been marked, if there's room in the plane, go ahead, but if there isn't room in the plane, buck this one,
I
something
think they
like
were
that.
sitting in a warehouse in
Yeah.
Austin,
I see, I see.
honestly.
Yeah. It's funny. And, isn't that overnight shipping so expensive like FedEx? No, that's what
No,
someone was
that's the
asking.
normal shipping level.
Yeah.
Well, the country is smaller than a place like the U.S., so we have an advantage in that sense, and it's much more densely populated.
Mm-hmm.
And the system now, it's not a monopoly, right? There's, what is it, there's 3 big ones? There's
Sagawa,
Takiben,
Yamato.
Sagawa.
There's
Yamato
a third
Sagawa
one.
have most of it. Kangaroo.
Yeah, there's the
and
kangaroo one. I can't
Say
remember.
no. There's 3 or 4.
Yeah, say no. It's a kangaroo, I think. And then, of course, the postal system.
Yeah, of course. I forget that. Excuse me.
So 4 major ones, and then several smaller ones that I've seen.
They're mostly regional, I think.
Yeah. And usually business to business deliveries, I think. Yeah, it's true. First class letter postage is more expensive within Japan compared to the US. The US, it's around 50 cents, I think, for a letter.
It's not that high yet. It's getting close, but
Okay.
I don't think it's cracked 50 cents
Okay,
yet.
but it's around there. It's close, upper 40s or something. But here, standard letter is 88 yen.
88? No, 82.
Or 82. Oh, you're right, 82, and it's 110 yen for international. Yeah.
Oh, it's like $3 and something.
It's also, but that 82 yen is a really restrictive size. It's
Yeah.
a little, it's a bit, as soon as you go a centimeter bigger than that, bang, it's up to the next,
Yeah, the next price.
AK guy.
Yeah.
And they're much stricter with that. But the service is fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Delivery men run to your door, they run back to their truck.
Yeah.
They're going. They're neat and clean, there's no slobs in dirty jeans.
Lots of things.
The trucks and the materials are just fabulous. I remember receiving shipments at the music store back in Canada. You'd hear the truck coming in. We'd have to run to the dock to get ready because the guy just opens his back doors and just pushes the stuff off the truck. And if we're not ready for it, tough shit for us. You know. That's exactly how it happens. A company called Canadian Freightways.
Wow.
He'd beep as he backed up to the loading dock. And if we weren't ready, who cares?
Wow.
And these are musical instruments, French horns, cellos.
Yeah. Don't want those bouncing around in the loading area. Oh, man.
Almost done here. 3 or 4 more copies, and then let's do some little bit of show and tell.
All right.
Here's the show and tell for today.
It's like origami.
Whoops, sorry. Oh, so it's good luck.
Printing.
Interesting pigments. Is it just age that made them look this way? Almost looks like a mix of computer printing and woodblock printing, but sure, I'm way off. And then there's normal.
Or printing press printing.
Yeah. Not that printed in there. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of text.
Yeah, it's a mix. That's Katsuji, of course.
Yeah.
Can you find a date? Because I wasn't sure. I don't remember the date. There must be a date on it somewhere. If you go to the front page after the Kuchi, there must be a table of contents. The back cover's been ripped off, so it's missing.
Yeah,
There must be a date.
Okay.
So I keep going. There must be a table of contents.
Yeah.
Somewhere on there.
Oh, Meiji 28年 5月 1888. My guess.
I'm done.
Done. Cool.
These will be on the way. Batch up on the way to Jed for signing today. I gotta trim these first before we send them.
Oh yeah.
This is the point where I look at it and realize I've stamped them with the wrong name. But no, the Horiboru, me, and Suri Kubota Kenichi. Right. Okay. Pass me that book, Cameron.
Yep.
Here you go. Oops.
Oh. Yeah, the stamps are up to 55 cents now in the US.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I guess I have so many I haven't bought any in a while.
Yeah.
I don't send that many letters anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I used to pay my bills by mail, but I don't do that. So
Yeah.
What was the date, Cameron?
Meiji 28, or was it 20 or 28? No, I don't remember.
28.
28, okay. So 96, 1896?
Meiji 28, so May of Meiji 28. It's a book about, I don't know, what's the word, ceremonies. Ceremonies.
Yeah.
Things. It's for an upper class lady who has married into some whatever. She's trying to run her household. And how to do these things, how to do weddings, how to do funerals, how to do the first thing of each new year, what happens when a baby's been born, what do you do, blah, blah, blah. The proper way to fold these little things must be folded exactly on this line. You know, this is an extremely rule-bound society, and most of these are related to Shinto ceremonies. There's no Buddhist. I flipped through it, I couldn't find any Buddhist. And it was comparing, here we are, it's comparing Japanese and Western ceremonies.
Huh.
The different things. So we'll see. I didn't flag this. There's things about the kind of clothes that would wear to a Western ceremony, wedding ceremony, as opposed to a Japanese wedding ceremony. And they used the example of the Meiji emperor, whose wife had worn at that time a Western white dress of some kind.
Yeah.
I should have put my little sticker in there to try and find the page. Idiot boy, I didn't do that, but whatever, anyway. But the reason I wanted to pick this particular book up wasn't the content. I don't care about Japanese wedding ceremonies at all. But it was the structure of the book. This is 18, what date was this? 18, have you
I
found
think
it?
96 is Meiji.
You've had 2 whole minutes to do this.
I know.
What?
does Google have a date
28.
converter?
What? No, we have an easier way to do these. Anytime you get a question, ask the
Oh,
chat.
95, 1895.
This is 1895, so this is transitional Japan, of course. The Westerners have been hanging around for quite a while now. Western technology is coming in. It's a magazine / book, a MOOC, whatever, and it's printed in katsuji. It's metal type, and this is actual letterpress. You can feel the bumpiness. There's no offset stuff here at this point. So the book itself is printed in mass production form with metal type. And here's an example. You've heard me talk about these before. Here's an example of a kuchie, the frontispiece, in its natural habitat. The magazine has stapled into it a woodblock print, which folds out like this. So this is the only part of the magazine that's actually woodblock printed. Am I off?
Zoom in on it.
It's up to you. Yeah. We've talked about the kuchies. We've seen them, taken out of context, and we've seen the reproduction I made. But this is how they existed in the real thing. And you can see, if I turn it, you can see the staples there. This is where the woodblock print has actually been literally, physically stapled into the book as part of the binding. And then it got trimmed as part of the binding process, which would be guillotines cutting the book to size. And all the kuchi, 99% of the kuchi we have left over, have these double folds in them. And now we can see why, because they're folded to fit inside the book. And of course, they've been careful to keep the inner fold well away from the edge so that it doesn't get chopped as part of the book production. So this is a kuchie, as I said, in its in its natural habitat. And the magazines this magazine maybe is not so disposable, because this is sort of a reference thing that somebody would have kept at home. What do we need to do when the baby's born? 3 months later, we have to go to the shrine, stuff like this. So this was not a strictly disposable thing. This is a book that would have stayed on somebody's bookshelf. But most of the kuchie were in actual magazines, a literary magazine. 2 weeks later, next one comes out. So you either keep them for a while, like National Geographic, so you turf them or whatever you do. And the prints, the technology, and the technique is to die for. I didn't even know, how do I count the gradations? Look at this, the gray is a gradation, the orange is a gradation, the orange is a gradation. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And how much of this, there's Shomenzuri, I don't know if it's going to show on your camera, all this black stuff here, it's imitation of lacquered mirrors. This is all shiny Shomenzuri. I have no idea how many blocks, how many impressions for what's essentially a disposable item.
It seems like an awful lot of metal plates would be needed to make something like that, too.
The key block, as we saw in the video I made, it's carved first, and then the key block was reproduced in metal, but the color blocks are all carved on wood.
I meant for the type in the rest of the
type.
book. Yeah.
Well, that's the way it was back in the old days. All type was set by hand in little rows, a chase, and you've got this warehouse full of these things. And they had to make when you were doing book publication in a physical form, you had to decide, we're going to make our print run of 10,000 and then disperse the type back into the cases to use again, or, whatever. We have that problem right now. I had the same problem right now when I ordered Kubota-san to do this. How many copies do I order? We know we're going to need this for 10 more years, but I can't ask him to print 1,000 copies now.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the resources to do it. So we've got to balance how many we need right now with how many we think we're going to sell and how many we can store. In my case, I store the wood blocks. But for a book, you've got all these metal trays full of type, which you want to use to print another book. So anyway, and the other thing I really wanted to mention about this was the illustrations. The illustrations for this are wood block carved, but not wood block printed. And I don't have one of these with me here, but what I have is a sample of the kind of way it was done. Ueda-san has a box of these. We've talked about them before. He has about 10,000 of these. There's lots of them are preserved. They are carved in wood block at what's called type high. The block is exactly the same height as a piece of metal type. So when the people were making these books, the type itself, the text was set. It might have been a linotype machine. I don't think so. This is before linotype. It would have been characters put into chases one by one, laid down, and they do it with a space, and the wood block went into the space with the type all around it, and then into the printing press it goes. And the rollers pass across it with the ink, and the paper goes on, bang, 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 away you go. So it's a combination of hand-carved wood blocks and metal type. And when you put these under the microscope, I can see places where there's a knife pop and a knife hit. These are actually carved, not drawn items. So the publisher who did this must have commissioned an illustrator to do them, and then commissioned a carver to get busy and carve it. You can see a few places here and there. Look at this, around the edge of this cloud here. There's another way you can tell this is wood block carved and not drawn. If this was a drawn thing that was reproduced photomechanically, you would have the line of the clouds, and that would be it. But this was a carved block. And as you know, we've got to scoop out the wood to make sure it's deep enough so that something doesn't catch. And look what's happened here. The scooper has not gone quite deep enough here, or the paper has been pressed on, because there's lots of letterpress here. This is really pressed on hard. And it's pressed down into the part a little bit farther than it should have gone, just at the top of this. So my guess here actually is when the wood block is either warped a bit or something, and it's no longer flat, and the block is a bit high here above the type. So the printing press put more pressure on the edge of this wood block. So when you look through these things, any given page, there's lots and lots of little hints. Same thing we see again right here. This wood block, the top of the wood block, look at this. It caught extra pressure at the top of these lines. And here too, it wasn't carved quite deeply enough. So these are carved wood blocks set up on the form together with the metal type and then thrown into the printing press. And these weren't stereotyped. Another way of doing this is you put the text and the pictures together, and then you make what's called a stereo of it, which is a metal plate made from the type, and the metal plate then goes into your printing press, and the type can be redistributed, ready for the next book. And you can keep the stereos. They were thin plates, and they're much easier to store. So for a book like this, it would be one filing cabinet full of metal plates, rather than a room full of trays of metal type.
But you said these were not done that way?
No, because it's right there. If you're making a stereotype, that's not what would happen.
Right.
This has actually gone through the press, print, press, print, press, print, press, and that block has warped, where it wasn't made carefully enough in the first place.
Yeah.
So woodblock prints plus metal type. This is the intermediate stage. Terence, I can ask you a favor. Can you run over there to the bins? The woodblock books over there. Do you know the ones I mean? Yeah, right there. Right, stop right there. No,
Left one more.
yep, right there. Dig in, dive in, jump. Yes, right there. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Bring me just a random one. Thank you. Anyone?
There's two.
So this is, we're going to jump back in time. This is the 18, what was the date? 1895. We jump back in time now to the 1850s, the stage before that, and now there is no letterpress. This is now pictures and text carved on one actual woodblock. So this is the earliest form of book production in Japan. Then we move to the hybrid, the one we just saw just now, where it's text plus carved illustrations.
Right.
And then from there on, we move into everything else, the modern offsets and you name it. And nobody had to carve images for it. So yeah, cool, fun. And this is dirt cheap. This is like 700 yen at an auction. Nothing. Nobody's interested in these things. Yeah. And what the bookshops downtown will do if they get these is out comes the kuchi. It goes into the bins for sale for 7,000 yen and toss the book in the trash. Nobody's interested in a book like this. So we'll just keep it as an example of how these things are. And it's pretty fine, delicate carving. You know, there's no Photoshop shrinking here. This was carved at this scale, of course. You can't muck around with a piece of wood. You can't scale a wood block down. And there's another one. If I can find an example page, again, I didn't read through this and find examples. Some of these are really simple in that they are square. The type was laid out in a square, and here's another example. This is not square. What they've done is in their planning process, they've worked this out, and we see Ueda-san in these piles of wood blocks he's got lots of them that are cut with notches all over the place. And the wood block for this will be square on the bottom, and it will have steps cut into it. And when you first see these, you think like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And when you see it, like this is obvious, that's where the metal type came in on the bed of the press, ready to be printed to get it. And he has tens of thousands of these, tens of thousands. And I was really hoping at some point one day, if I just gathered together enough of these books, we can look through his, we're going to find, oh my God, there's the actual.
Yeah.
I want to find the magazine that has this in it, you know. And there were just so many of them done. And most of them would have just been tossed aside, because once you've done it, once you've printed your book, that's it. You're done, unless you're keeping it aside with a type ready to make a second edition or something.
Right.
But once it's out of print, that's it. And you can't replane these down and use them again, because now they're too thin. They have to be exactly type high.
Wow.
Do we need to close up on this? Or maybe is it better if you hold it, or I hold it, or should I hold it? And you'll-
Okay. Good. See how shallowly it's.
Oh, Kawai-san, you're okay, are you? 元気大丈夫？
いや、大丈夫ですよ。
いや、先日、酔っ払いが悪いか。
で、まあちょっと、で、泳いだら、ちょっと、はい。
オッケーオッケー。
大丈夫です。
So there we have it. Meiji Era magazine, complete with Kuchie frontispiece, I guess is intact. Super thin paper. Look at the back.
Yeah. See straight through it.
Just straight to, look at the back
Yeah,
side.
definitely.
Super thin, because they had to print so many so fast. You can't sit there rubbing round and round and round and round. You got to go bang, splash, splash, next, bang, splash, splash, next.
Well, you can't
Human
rub too much on
printing
paper
presses.
like that because it's very
But
delicate.
it's been powered. Look at that. That's a power baron. That's full human rub. You know?
How do they make that shiny pigment?
This
That
is
black.
this is black with lots of Nikawa mixed into it, and then it's done shomenzuri. After it's dried, it's rubbed one more time on the front. But yeah, it's got lots of glue. That's black, filled with glue. It would be so sticky. And the key block, of course, is different. The key block is a light gray black.
Yeah.
And then the black color you're seeing is nothing to do with the key block. It's a separate color block of its own. And then some of the pigments here, this red is super opaque because it's been blobbed on top of the black. Super. So this is not classical ukiyo-e printing. This red is super opaque. So there we have it, sir. Good.
Cool.
Guidebook to Western and Japanese ceremonies.
Fun.
Is it time? What's the date today? Today's
9:18.
9:18.
It's up to you.
Well, like I said, I don't.
Print more or carve? I mean,
No, no,
carve
no, no.
more?
My next job actually is persuading around this one, so it's not really a good way to end the stream here.
Let's end the stream. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
But today's Friday, so tomorrow is Saturday. I'll be here at this desk. Oh, I also have a sizing stream to do sometime over the weekend because lots of printers are waiting for paper on Monday,
Yeah.
which means if I do it Sunday, we can't ship Sunday. So probably tomorrow morning, warning gang, tomorrow morning might be a sizing stream upstairs. Got to move all the cameras up there, so that means I can't put the camera outside.
Yeah. Because you'll be upstairs.
So
Put it out the window.
yeah, tomorrow will probably be a sizing stream upstairs. Not quite sure yet.
Sounds good.
Good. Okay, let's get to work. It's going to be a busy day here, I hope.
Yeah.
Karen, thanks for sitting in this morning.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Good, good, good.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Um,